Hello and welcome to the first chakra, the root chakra, the Muladhara chakra. It's your roots. It's related to your sits bones and your pelvic region. The legs and feet are included in those roots. But for the most part, your chakras run through your spine. So your root chakra is truly that tip of the tailbone that rests between your sits bones. So as you take a moment here in a nice seated posture, you can prop yourself up with a block. I have a block. You can prop yourself up with a yoga block or blanket or meditation seat. Then close your eyes for a moment here. With your eyes closed, ground down. Tune in to what roots you down. Your sits bones, your tailbone rests between your sits bones. As I'm seated here, I also feel my shins and the tops of my feet grounded. Your root chakra is the color red. So with your eyes closed, maybe even start to imagine the color red. Our root chakra is related to our survival. Much like a tree in the winter, it looks dead or dormant, but it's very much surviving below the surface in its roots. So even we, as humans, the root chakra is related to our survival. At any time when you feel a little bit on a roller coaster or you're floating and flying, that fight or flight, just ungrounded, come back to your root chakra. Imagine the color red and ground down. 5 to 10 breaths here. You can start to cultivate the Ujjayi breath if you'd like, in and out of your nose. Slight constriction through the back of your throat for that audible whisper sound. Two more as you imagine the breath originating from your sits bones all the way to the tip top of your head where the 7th chakra is. Gently let your eyes flutter open. And as we gently find our way into Malasana, frog pose. If this pose doesn't go over well with your knees, then move right on into maybe a wide-legged forward fold straddle. But if you can find your way into Malasana, maybe start to just plant your feet flat. Start to lift the sits bones up and off your block. If you still want to use the block as a toadstool, rotate the block to maybe a higher height. Ground the sits bones back down and bring hands to heart. If you're not rooted on a block, take the sits bones as low as they'll go, hands at heart, elbows open your knees. If you'd like, reclose your eyes. And again, imagine the breath originating from your sits bones, from your roots. On an inhale, all the way to the tip top of your head to the 7th chakra. This time, some open mouth cleansing breath. So, again, inhale, fill up sits bones to the top of your head. One more. Inhale from the roots to the tip top of your head. And let it out. Let your eyes flutter back open again. Hands release to the floor. Start to lift your sits bones into a forward fold. From here, gently take the feet a little bit wider. You don't have to go to your widest stance. Definitely take them slightly wider than your hips. Let your head hang heavy here as you gaze maybe at the wall behind you. You could interlace opposite hand to opposite elbow. to create a little bit more of that dangle effect through the shoulders. Soft bend in your knees, especially if your hamstrings are talking to you today. Be mindful. There's no prize for straight legs. As you hold here, a gentle nod of your head, yes and no, helps release your neck and spine. For a deep breath in and out. If you feel up to taking this forward fold a little bit deeper, maybe reach out for the outer edges of your calves. Actively bend your elbows to pull you in and down. Crown of the head surrenders to gravity, much like water to earth. Taking notice, the 7 chakras are upside down right now. Your root chakra is the highest point on your body, allowing for the other 6 chakras to surrender to gravity. Once again, much like water to earth. 3 more breaths. With your fingertips to the floor, gentle nod of your head, yes and no, one more time. And come up to about a halfway lift. So you start to gaze out in front of you. Your chin is off your chest as you lengthen your spine out nice and long. Pause for a full breath in and out. Once again, being mindful of your knees, take a gentle bend in your knees, hands to your hips. And as you start to gaze out in front of you, rise all the way up to a wide-legged standing stance. Pause for a deep breath in and out, releasing any dizziness you might feel from being upside down. Tuning into the tingliness, the sensations in your body. If you don't go upside down often, then it feels kind of foreign to you. But no, it's pretty normal that we all feel some tingliness or lightheadedness after being upside down. It's that energy, the Shakti or Chi, the prana flowing through your veins. As you start to turn your toes out, heels in, we're going to take this to a wide-legged squat, goddess pose, also known as horse. Your thighs come to an angle where your feet match that same angle. So make sure your toes and your thighs are all in one long line out to the sides. Pull your belly in tight, lower ribs in tight, shoulders stacked over your hips. And maybe sit a little lower if you can. A gentle sway side to side helps you ease into the hips just a little bit more. And again, if you feel comfortable, close your eyes. Tuning into your roots, where you feel this in your roots. As we've come a little bit higher in our postures, the legs are flowing into the sits bones and the tailbone, creating a bigger base, a stronger foundation to root down into. If your eyes are closed, once again, come back to the color red. And knowing our roots are where we ground down. At times in life, sometimes we think we need to reach for things that are so high we can't reach them. When in actuality, we need to ground down to accomplish our goals. 3 breaths. Let your eyes flutter back open. Inhale, open all the way up to a big star pose. Arms reach for the sky. Big capital letter X. X marks the spot where today you ground down into your root chakra. And bring your hands back to heart center. Take a deep breath in and out. Adding a little bit of movement to our goddess pose today. Take a deep seat. Belly pulls in tight. Arms release down and inhale. Even take your gaze up. And then as your hands pull through the center, like tracing a line down the middle of your body. 3 more. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, your thumbs trace a line through the center of your body. 2 more. One more. Inhale. As hands come to heart center, this time pause and sit a little lower. Breathe for 3, 2. Lift the corners of your mouth. You can do this. 1. Inhale, star. Hands come back to heart center. Take a giant step to the top of your mat. Maybe a gentle shake of the legs or a gentle rotation of the ankles. From here, face the front of your mat, bringing the big toes in to touch, leaving about an inch of space between your heels. Inhale, Tadasana, as you reach your arms up. Pause, shoulders drizzle down your back. Palms face each other as you spread your fingers out wide. Tune into your feet, what roots you down here. And take a deep breath in from your feet all the way up to your fingertips. And a big open mouth. Again, inhale from your feet to the tips of your fingers. Through your nose, exhale. One more. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. Hands to heart center. As we work a little bit of arm work here, keep your roots together and grounded. Arms reach down as you inhale, reach back up. And exhale, tracing your thumb through the center of your body, bring your hands through the center line. Inhale, reach up again. Exhale, thumbs trace a line down the center of your body. One more. Inhale, reach up. Allow the thumbs to trace a line down the center of your body. Inhale, reach up again. This time, take a mini back bend as you cactus your arms. Drive the thigh bones farther out as you lift through your sternum. Be mindful of the back of your neck. A slight gaze up. Inhale, Tadasana, reach back up. Exhale as the thumbs trace a line through the center, forward fold, belly pulls in tight, soft bend in your knees as you take it all the way over. Let your head hang heavy once again like water to earth. Gentle nod, yes and no if you'd like. Inhale to a halfway lift, your fingertips come to your shins, lengthen your spine. Slight gaze out, maybe about 6 inches in front of the top edge of your mat. Feel your spine from your sits bones to the crown of your head, one long line of energy. The soft bend in your knees makes this line of energy a little more doable. Deep breath. Exhale, plant your hands as you bend your knees and step back for a high plank. High plank, shoulders are stacked over your hips. Heels pressed to the wall behind you. Your gaze somewhere near the top edge of your mat so your chin is off your chest. One long line of energy from your heels to the tip top of your head. Take a deep breath in. On the exhale, slowly lower all the way to your belly. Even chin finds the mat. As your arms extend along your side bodies, reach your fingertips back behind you with an exhale. Inhale, lift for Salambhasana, locust pose. Heart, chest, legs, arms, everything but your belly lifts. With an inhale, lift your heart a little more. On the exhale, legs lift more. One more breath, lift anything you can. Exhale to surrender. Bring your forehead to the mat, arms rest along your sides. Couple of big recovery breaths. Tune in to any energy flowing through the body. One more breath here. Bring your hands back up near your shoulders and ribs. Tuck your toes under. Deep breath in. On the exhale, tabletop as you press up onto all fours. Any little adjustments as your shoulders stack over your wrists, hips stack over your knees. Round your back like a scared cat. As you arc your back to the sky, pull your chin to chest. Feel the back of your heart open to the ceiling. With an inhale, cow, drop your belly towards the floor as you melt your heart and gaze out, away from your mat. Shoulders drizzle down your back. Hold for a deep breath. On the exhale, round your back for cat again. Start to move with breath. Inhale, cow. Drop your belly to the floor and gaze out. Exhale, round your back and spine. Tuck your chin to chest and try and gaze at your own belly button. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. One more, cow. Inhale, cow. Hold your cow. Come back to a neutral tabletop position. Tuck your toes under and lift your sits bones for down dog as your legs lengthen. And then take a moment here to bend one knee and then the other. Paddle out your down dog or any other gentle little movements you might have here. The lower belly pulls in tight to keep your sits bones high. Biceps are on either side of your ears. Heels may or may not touch the mat, but actively press through your heels and pull the lower core in even tighter. 3 breaths. On an inhale, lift your right leg high. Exhale, half pigeon, Ekapada Raja Kapotasana. Bring the right shin right behind both wrists as best as you can. As you set your shin down, scoot your left leg longer back behind you. With an inhale, lift your heart and gaze out in front of you. And on an exhale, start to surrender, coming all the way down into your half pigeon. If you'd like, maybe make a pillow with your arms, or even use a block for your forehead, or a blanket or a pillow. About 10 nice big deep breaths. Two more breaths. So you gently start to lift your heart. Bring your hands just below your shoulders to help lift your heart a little more. A slight gaze up to open your heart. As you tuck the back toes under, prepare yourself to lift your right leg high. 3-legged dog, right leg high. Take a moment here to find any gentle movements or open your hip the other way. In downward facing dog. Deep breath and out. Inhale, lift your left leg high. Exhale, half pigeon, Ekapada Raja Kapotasana. As your left knee sets right behind the left wrist, Bring your shin across the mat towards the other wrist as best as you can. Scoot your right leg long back behind you. Take a moment to open your heart as you gaze out in front of you with a deep breath. And on an exhale, start to surrender. Even if you must surrender to a block or using any other supports for your practice today. If you can find your way all the way down, rest your head, relax your shoulders, and breathe. Two more breaths. As you gently start to lift both hands near your shoulders to help open your heart. As you gaze up and out, open your heart. Prepare yourself to lift back up into your three-legged dog as you tuck the back toes under. Sweep your left leg high. Any gentle little movements or open the hip the other direction. Deep breath. And out, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath here. And out. Two more deep breaths. Feel your feet and your hands root you down, lifting your sits bones high to the sky. Biceps on either side of the ears as the tip top of your head surrenders to gravity. Gently coming into a tabletop position as you drop down onto your knees. Take a moment, hands at heart center, for a big recovery breath in and out. And then as you start to find your way back to a seated position, maybe grabbing a mala necklace, beads, or your journal, or both. And if you'd like to reprop yourself up on a block, placing the block underneath your sits bones. Here, if you would rather journal, then go ahead and open up your journal. You could even grab a couple of extra props, a box that you have laying around, a crate. And you could take the time here to journal if you'd like. Today, though, I'm going to opt for my mala beads. The malas have 108 beads. The 109th bead is where I begin, though. So beginning at the first bead to one side or the other of the mala beads, I'm going to meditate and move on to each bead, finding 108 repeats of my mantra. Today, my mantra is, I am rooted. So as I move on from one bead to the other, I'm going to repeat, I am rooted. You can close your eyes for this, if you'd like, or if you need to be able to focus on the beads, you can. So again, on an inhale, I am rooted. And on the exhale, you can move on to the second bead. Hold the second bead. Inhale, I am rooted. On the exhale, move on to the third bead. Hold the third bead. Inhale, I am rooted. Exhale, move on to the fourth bead. Hold the fourth bead. Inhale, I am rooted. Continue to move around the mala for the 108 repeats of your mantra, or use this time to journal in your book if you'd rather. When you return back to your 109th bead, or you finish your journaling, you can gently bring your hands to heart center as you sit up tall. Thank you for joining me today on this journey through the root chakra, your first chakra. If you'd like to continue this path, you can move on to the second chakra. If you have the gift of time, maybe you can get through all 7 chakras in one day. How amazing would that be? Or reserve each one for each day for 7 days or for 7 weeks. You could repeat each chakra for 7 days for 7 weeks. Really, the journey is yours at this point. But honor yourself, honor your practice, honor your life, honor all 7 chakras. As you root down, we seal our practice today with Namaste.